similar to the complexes with the infinitive. We've got subjective complex with participles. And the examples are, he was heard singing in the next room. The Prime Minister was reported to have announced his resignation. So in the first case, we've got he singing. Yes. Is the subjective complex with the participles. By contrast, for you to see the difference between the subjective complex with the participle and with the infinitive, the next example is with the perfect infinitive. The Prime Minister was reported to have announced his resignation. And again, usually starts with the personal verb. Next complex is objective participial complex. Again, similar to the objective infinitival complex, it performs the function of the object. You heard her moving around the room. That's what we were discussing. If we are talking about the process, the participle one is preferable. There are a couple of examples with the participle two. I heard his name mentioned in the crowd. You remember that participle two is usually the regular verb with the ending ed, so it is the third form of the verb, or the third form of the irregular verb. They want these windows replaced in autumn. So usually it means that somebody else will replace the windows. Like she wants her hair cut, and she wants to cut her hair. Two different sentences, yes, because if she wants her hair cut, it means that she won't cut her hair on her own, yes, but she wants to cut her hair may mean that she's going to do it herself. And absolute participial complex. You remember, absolute means independent. I can't write with you standing there. We should remember that this complex can be introduced by the preposition with, or it can stand on its own. So he sat with his arms crossed. Mr. Hillary being at a meeting, this is a complex. The brothers had tea by themselves. Usually this complex is forms the function of the adverbial modifier of attendant circumstances or of manner. So it explains how the action is performed, or it gives some information about the additional or parallel actions to the main part of the sentence. We were walking by ourselves for an hour, George having remained in the hotel to write a letter. So you can see that different forms of the participle can be used here as well. The participle to can be used here too, like the job done, they could go and have some nice time together. Done, job done is the absolute participial complex. And of course, translated mostly by the adverbial modifiers of manner and attendant circumstances, or adverbial subordinate clauses, and very often by adverbial participle, which is die preslivnik. With the infinitive, subjective complex with the infinitive. I remind you, it's introduced with the main verb in passive or a link verb or verb of opinion. Okay. For-to-infinitive complex. It's easy to single out with the help of the preposition for, but sometimes it's a bit tricky. be attentive about that. And we remember different functions in the sentence. That's why different ways of translating it. Objective complex with the infinitive performs only one function in the sentence, which makes the number of that, which reduces the number of the means with translation. The same is about participles. Participle 1 and participle 2 can be found in the subjective complexes. Objective complex with the participle, again, the one function is performed by it. And absolute participial complex.